Hola and welcome everybody to Monday Night Fire Shrike. And I think what we start with is we get like the sort of like external scene shot of the blue ember, and like of course we can see that it is currently landed on the planet surface of Octorn with the ground that looks like flesh and bushes that look like hair sprouting out and toxic radiation and poisonous mists, and there's a group of Kasathans and a few other folks that are just sort of moving around this hole and pulling up and they look like they're dismantling or pulling, gear out of the ground view. But it's like Octurn, and of course we see like the Fire Shrike parked next to the Blue Ember, and we get a inside shot of the Blue Ember. In fact, we get the hallway. We get the hallway right outside of Ashira's door, and we get Nurks kind of standing there, like knocking on the door, like, "Hey, are you in there? Are you done shitting your brains out?"
I mean, I feel a lot better.
She's like, "Open the door."
Okay, open the door.
so, so
It's so
Nurks,
demanding.
yeah, she's Nurks. She's kind of like,
Just making sure you're not killing yourself. Shit.
yeah. She's like, hey, she's like, well, I don't think you're gonna die, but I'm not the doctor. She's like,
Oh my god.
mm.
This coming from the lady who's probably thinks rum heals everything.
Yeah, she's like, you might go have that glass cell checked out, but she kind of wanted to. She's like, you missed all the action. She's like, we found this secret lab thingy under the ground, and Shaba hacked the controls. We went inside, and yeah, we found the original samples for Rex Tolak, Dyden Losif, and Janice McClare. You want to see the body?
Yes?
she's like, come. She's like, come on, and she's like goes to take you to like the med bay where the body has been probably like been moved to, but she's pretty much like um she kind of like occasionally looks around like she's checking for something. She's like, gotta make sure Miss Spooky Pants is not following us again. I think Zod said her.
Who's that?
She goes, Spooky Pants, the fucking beret chick. And she's like,
Lady.
Lady Sonnet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and she's
so
like,
confused.
well, because Lady Sonnet was trying to play a game of trying to sneak up on Nurks and whatnot, and sometimes Nurks saw her and sometimes she didn't. Because Sonnet's actually pretty good. She's like, so McClare, turns out the one we met, not so much the actual McClare. Funny thing is, the body of the original, well, she's kind of dead and desiccated and half goo, so it's kind of funny. And she's like, she's like, yeah, that's what I said. The McClare that's out there, I think she's a clone, but she's lasted a long time for being a clone. Considering you're a clone and Uzzie's degraded within a few months, this one's been around for years.
So, like, what? Yeah, well, like, what's the difference? That's weird.
Yeah, it's like, I think they got that new, that plant guy working on it, trying to figure it out. But, I think he's a little cuckoo.
Think he's a little what?
I think he's a little cuckoo. He's like, hey, she's like, yeah, she's like, oh yeah, and that Vesa girl, they showed her quarters. She's got I don't know where they're at yet. I mean, you'd have to ask Koala or Rack.
Next to your guys's.
Ah. Yeah, but I don't think Nurks was in on that. You had like one of the other NPCs show her to her room.
Yeah, that's
it was
the
like
big bulky guy.
It was Rack, yeah.
Yeah, it was Rick. Because he knows how to be nice to the ladies.
Hey.
He was a complete gentleman.
Other than
That's what I said.
other than the threat to kill you if you cross the crew, you know,
Right,
he was
right.
perfectly nice. She,
So great.
yeah,
And only brandished a weapon a few times. It's great.
yeah. and,
It's because it's a
uh,
long arm.
Oh
and
my god.
yeah, you managed to reach the med bay, and she's like, and Nurx kind of looks around like, you're like, where is she? And like, Glycil doesn't even look up from what he's like got his. He's like looking at something under a microscope. He didn't even look up. He just points in a general direction, and he's just like, um, he's like, just keep it down. I'm trying to work. It's like kind of, uh, but yeah, you go over and there's this long cylinder tube that looks a lot like the ones you guys found in the in the cloning facility back on the outer territories and whatnot. Um, and it's got a desiccated corpse of a humanoid um, woman with there's just like the smallest amount of purple goo at the bottom that's just like the at the bottom the casing has been smashed open, like the glass casing in front, you know, has been smashed open at some point, which possibly led to her demise. Yeah, it's kind nobody's got any real answers yet apparently, but eh, she's like I kind of feel like I'm reading the end of the book before I get halfway through. uh, uh, but yeah, the
Don't you
and
hate it when
it's
that happens?
she's like, yeah, kinda. It's, does the Glycel probably is like finally looks up and he's like, I'm sorry, the captain didn't inform me that you are going to the two of you are going to be up here or be here. It's like, yeah.
What's wrong with
It's like
Glycil?
his fucking voice. Like,
Well, he's a slug person. He's
Good
an
lord.
Osharu, so
it
you
just
know.
cracks
Why
me
not
up
Zoidberg?
every
That's what I
time.
think he sounds like too. I'm pretty sure.
He's like,
He is
He's like Winston
Zoidberg.
Churchill with some stuff in his mouth.
I think he should sound like Jabba.
No, see, he's
Oh.
Nixon. He's Nixon Zoidberg.
Okay.
Hooray!
Okay. Where are we at? What are we doing? I got distracted.
you're in the med bay, and you're looking at the remains of what you think is, or what at least everybody thinks is the body of Janice McClare.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
real,
we went to leave the body. Okay.
of the real Janice McClare. At
Focus.
this point, um, although they're still working on the identification, like Nurse is like, uh, she kind of is like, she goes to poke at the body, but like Glycil like slaps her away a little bit. And he's like you'll contaminate the sample. like,
Contaminate.
Use your prison voice. I'll fuck her up, bitch.
Use your prison voice. What the fuck?
Hey, he spent 6 months in prison with Captain Zai, and Captain
He
Zai
did.
was way more at home in prison than Glycil was. Let's just say that.
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the no, Glycil is essentially a scientist and a mystic, both. So
Yeah.
but
Huh.
but he's a little bit shorter than you, Ashira. He's still taller than Nurx.
Okay.
He's around
Like
5
most things.
even. He's around 5
Yeah.
even.
He's actually really tall for his race.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thought Osharas were all supposed to be around 5 foot even.
Are
I
they?
thought they were all 4-footed. It's not
Yeah, I
something we
thought
need
they
to
were
argue over,
shorter.
sir.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I thought
either
Osharas
way.
were 4 though. Either way, he can be tall.
Yeah, it
You
doesn't
can be
matter.
however tall you want to be.
But
With magic.
with magic. But yeah, he's kind of like, if you're not here on official business, then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the med bay while we're working.
Wait a minute.
Kiss my happy little ass, Zoidberg.
Wait. Twinkle, you're there?
No,
Yeah.
but Gunner is.
No.
Hello, Gunner. Fire! Fire!
The
Fly on the wall.
yeah, he's kind of doing but he's kind of doing that thing where you've seen him shoo people out of the med bay before, especially recently with all the new hires. Like, fucking, get the fuck out of my med bay.
Do it again.
Get the
Except
fuck
this
out
time
of
say,
my med bay.
That's amazing.
now add, or I'll cut you, bitch.
He did.
I'll cut you,
that's-
bitch.
He's still a doctor. He doesn't like getting violent if he doesn't have to.
I'm a doctor. I know where to do it to make it stick.
Oh boy.
That's probably more a line Merch would say.
No,
doctor.
he doesn't
I'll
get
make
angry.
it stick.
I know how to make things stick.
Right? Yeah, like Nurx is like, fine. I'm gonna check the new batch anyway. And so and Nurx goes to turn around and walk out, and just kind of chuckling to herself at the idea that that's Janice McClare laying right there, that's desiccated and dead.
That's because she knows how much shit we've been through.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, fucking yeah, she's been with you for a while, so she was there when the original contract with Mastodon Mining Company was made. Yeah. So,
Damn.
yeah, she's been there since she's been around that long.
Yeah,
How
as
So
long
were
as
you,
it's Shira.
Ashira? So were you, Ashira? You were there when the original contract was made too.
Oof.
So was Shaba. Fucking. But yeah, I think Nurx turns to leave the med bay. Are you gonna follow?
Yeah,
her?
I'll just follow her. Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you could stick around and insist you have official business.
But I couldn't get past that sentence because I wouldn't have the rest planned out. We're like, oh, I'm here for official business. Well, what business?
Official business, damn it.
Official, damn it!
It's classified.
How close
Classified.
is the med bay to Merch's lab?
Well, okay, so there is a science lab and a med bay, and they're both pretty close together.
They're actually even right next door to each other. It makes it
If
easier to
I
keep that area extra clean.
Nice. If I recall, because I lost my notes, I got shooed out of Merch's lab. Am I
Yeah,
close?
shoot.
Am I in the hallway? I got
Shoot.
shooed out.
Get out.
Actually,
get out.
It's probably after that a little bit.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a little bit after that, but
Okay.
I can cut to you real quick because I do have a bit of stuff to go through here for you.
Oh,
You
shit.
actually, yeah, you've been wandering around the ship. You've only been a part of the crew for maybe a handful of hours, and so far the thing you've noticed is that really most everybody here seems to be a little out there, and most of them are not exactly what you would think. You already knew Ashira wasn't stuck up like typical elf. She's stuck up in her own way.
Yeah.
She just
That is
doesn't like
true. She is
anybody. It
stuck
doesn't
up.
matter. It doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter to Ashira. She just doesn't like most people. So,
Which makes me love her
the-
more.
which you already knew, but the human that Zai talked to doesn't acts more like an android. The fucking the dwarf, the dwarf has been nothing but polite. He's been a bit rowdy, but in that way where he's trying to make you a part of the fun. He actually offered you a drink once or twice before wandering off. And there is a drone that wanders the hallways that is shit. It's like a janitor's cart, but it has a grenade launcher just randomly attached to it, and it occasionally just cleans shit.
Okay.
And nobody seems to.
Just occasionally lick that dust.
And then
Remember,
just goes,
take deep breaths.
now
Yeah,
playing calming ocean sounds.
Oh god, so
It
fucking
does.
creepy.
Exactly, it
Right.
does. That is exactly what it does, because that was part
Oh.
of its fucking programming.
Reminder,
Um,
in anger.
And
you
there's a
defeat
chance there's
only
a very
yourself.
elaborate goat robot following it.
A
Well-
goat robot. Okay.
But the
A
weirdest thing,
GoBot, if you will.
the weirdest thing that you've noticed of all the crazy shit you've seen here, you're walking down the hallway, and this is maybe the third time you've seen it. There is an ooze wandering up around the hallway, and everybody seems to act like it belongs there. You're musing over the fact that you've seen this ooze around that just sort of like wanders around, and it bumps into you, and then it excuses itself. Whoa, sorry, man. I mean, ma'am. I mean, are you a sir? Or are you a ma'am? I don't know. Like,
It's okay. I guess I'm a ma'am.
Don't
Ma'am?
apologize to it. Sorry. It says someone in the distance.
like, I didn't mean to run into you. Like, hi, I'm Ashni.
Hi, Ashni. I'm Besa. What do you do?
Well,
Actual fuck.
I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet, but I'm part of the security force, man. Like, I take the energy of the universe, and like a face has formed in the ooze, like facing you, and it's got like two pseudopods that it's kind of like gesticulating with, but because there's not like normal humanoid hands and stuff at the end of it, you get the feeling that you're kind of it has that weird effect, like it's just cello waving at you almost, but
Yeah.
it's like I take all the energies of the universe, man, all of that destructive and kinetic power, and I'm just like I absorb it and I go pow, and it's like and I explode it outwards and I hit things and I redirect it, man. Like I take it in and I redirect. It's all about like being the fulcrum of the cosmos.
All right, he said the word cosmos. I like this guy.
I love everything about that. We should be friends.
It's like,
Sorry, that just proves you're easy.
why? It's like,
Just
oh,
proves I'm what now?
why?
Easy.
Come over here and say that.
What's your address?
Don't say it on stream.
I was gonna say it. Not say
Say
it
it
on
on
stream.
Like,
Mm.
2100
No,
41, or is it 43 Wallaby Way?
Off the rails.
yeah, I think Ashley's like, oh man, like when I'm off duty and stuff, we should hang out.
Yeah, totally. When are you off duty and what do you do for fun?
Well, I don't know, man, but I'm pretty good at racing. Like,
Racing what?
oh man, well, let me find his character sheet right now because I forgot what it was called. He actually has an athletic thing that he does. Quetch racing, man. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Like it's compression racing, man. Like you squeeze as hard as you can, and you go through like these really small tubes as fast as you can. And whoever make it to the end of the maze, like first, and it's tricky, man, because sometimes you gotta pass the others, and then like they gotta try to pass you. And it's about like how much of the tube you can take up without taking up too much. Being able to still move but not let anybody by. It's intense, man. It's intense.
It sounds thrilling. I would
We
love
have
to
video
do that
games. Make him
sometime.
play video games.
That sounds crazy good. Yes. And she's genuinely interested. She's not being a shithead. Like
Yeah. is he's like, I was actually pretty kind of like I was back on Seltzerkirk, man. I was training for like the big, the big races, man. I do was like, whoa. And it's like, I, but I gotta get back on patrol, man, or man, or dude, or man.
It's
Anyway,
whatever. It
I
doesn't
gotta
matter.
I gotta get back on patrol. Like that Mr. Qualu told me to keep like security tight.
Okay. It was nice meeting you, and have fun being tight on security.
and it just sort of like moves back. It's like catch you later, and kind of it continues on its path. Like,
This shit is curiouser and curiouser. What the
Watch him
fuck
turn
have I
into the
gotten myself
BBEG for
into?
this season.
Oh, we're gonna be friends. You're gonna need me.
You just don't understand, man. The darkness in your heart.
It compels me.
there's-
No, I made it
Righteous.
my own.
you are, but you are in the hallway. Like, where are you headed off to? Like, nobody's like really given you a guided tour or anything, but I'm guessing that the computer probably has some sort of diagram layout of that is still being updated. I'm sure there's not like if you go to look for what room has been assigned to you, it's probably not in the system yet. You just
Yeah.
kind of have to remember your way back there. But
Yeah, I
like
probably
you
won't.
can
I
but you
say
can
it's set up like a ship. You should at least be able to remember what section you're in if you can't remember what number your room is.
well, it's a
She's pretty
big
good.
ship. It's,
I know. So maybe her room is in section 4, fucking level C.
you know,
Okay,
There you
so
go.
mental note.
You live there now.
4C. 4C is where I live. Okay. I don't know.
yeah.
I kind of want to just sort of explore and see where it takes me, and also see what kind of light, fun trouble I can get into.
You can
If
piss
you-
off Twinkle.
You could there
That is
there
something
may,
you could do.
that is something you could probably do. Like, but for the time being, to give you sort of an idea here, like you can find the mess hall pretty easy. You can find like the science lab and the med lab are labeled. Like the major facilities are labeled, like the tech lab or the mysticism bay.
Gotcha.
Synthesis bay.
Synthesis bay. Like so,
Okay.
The only bay we don't have is a heck right now, I think.
Man,
and
that's
that's
the
on
one
the
I
fire
wanted.
strike.
I'm just kidding. How about I'm gonna go get some coffee in the mess hall?
I was gonna say, and of course, bridge and engineering are labeled too.
And
And
you have
gunner.
serious bonuses for
But
that
yeah,
because Rec keeps Ashira stocked in premium coffee.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's go get some fucking coffee.
all
And then
I'm
right.
there's
gonna
that other guy
wander
that
and
likes coffee here too now.
So you're headed off to get some coffee and what have you.
Mhm,
All right, that's where you're headed for. Xander,
mhm.
where are you on the ship and what are you doing? What is your like you've been assigned quarters now. The rec has just got done showing you where your quarters are. Well, he showed you to your quarters a while ago, but you can easily access, the main like sort of non-locked out systems that everybody can access to find out where the major stuff is. So
The punk section of the MP3s on this thing it's just huge.
I'm probably
Oh,
won't leave my room and go over my notes and see what information I can access to update notes on what transpired with that whole shifter thing. If anybody, whatever, that's my thought process.
you try to do some research on the dimensional sifter. Okay. There isn't really an infosphere here, but I will let you try a computer's check to see if you have anything in like your own personal databases. Do you have like a personal or a personal like computer that you carry with you? like a tablet or something?
Yeah, that's what I do in my notes in.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna access and see what you can find there. Yeah, I mean, because it's entirely possible since you keep all your notes there. You find a few mentions of it. Of course, you've got the most recent mentions since it's been discussed in your presence to some extent, and whatnot. You get the like what Isaki and has talked about, and sort of like Serold has talked about when he recognized what Zaya's kind of talked about. But you also find like a few references to it here and there. And the dimensional sifter is actually it's very, very long. Not much is known about it. Most people think it's a myth. Um, there is debate on whether it was created by ancient gods that no longer exist, or by ancient civilizations that no longer exist, or something else entirely. Um, you have samples of a language that was found in some ancient text that mentions it, but much of the like it's like maybe you like have a copy, like a digital copy of like a page and a picture, when the page is full of writing and the picture, there's a picture of like a device that has like a switch connected to it that's glowing, and it's like, and you know, just from what you've heard, that this is just one representation of what they think the sifter looks like. This is by no means like um, this is by no means something that's like set in stone that this is what it looks like. It's one of the references that you found to it, that you managed to get digital copy of. But you do have you could potentially get a feel for the language, but it's going to take you a lot of work and time, and you're probably going to have to feed it into a more powerful computer. And it might not hurt to try to find some supplemental information as well. But there is in the notes a reference to it, being, what was the planet? I said it was on a planet in the area that is now sort of like it's part of the Marixa Republic, but it is contested kind of by the Girderon Authority. Try to remember the name of the planet, but in any case, see, where was it? That's where I think I would have had that written down, but I can't remember right now. But I thought I would remember it, and I did not. Uh, that's into the Vescarium. There's Dagox, Demolko, Embroi, Gaskar, Goris, Gitteron Authority, Intel, Vanderhall, Marixa. Okay. You've heard that there is a notation. Whoever you got this page from, or whoever this originally discovered this page somewhere, had done just enough translation to write Sansagoras, a Klata system, and a question mark in the like sort of in the margin. Like a handwritten note. So there's you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just trying to get information of what I can find, and then from then, whoever that portal dude was from a different dimension, go find him and see what he knows about different dimensions in this stuff.
Go find Serold.
Yeah.
Uh, you Serold's room has probably not shown up. It probably doesn't quite show up yet, but so because system's probably still being. You know what though?
I'll just
Who do you?
aimlessly wander around until
Yeah.
I find something interesting.
Okay. But you can find like places he might be, because there are lots of shared spaces like the mess hall, the bridge, the engineering
He actually
department.
probably finds him in like the mess hall.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere on the fire Shrike.
This is on the Blue Ember right now. But you can
Cyril's
be on the.
Shrike.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
can be in the Blue Ember while
Yeah,
we're
you-
all docked.
Yeah, you're parked right now, so you may be assigned to one ship, but that doesn't mean you have to be on that ship right this
Parked.
moment.
I like that
Although-
term. We
Yeah.
park our spaceships here.
But
yeah, he's in the
yeah.
mess hall, like meticulously separating out his fortunate trinkets, cereal from low quality marshmallow.
Yeah, and I think this is probably before Xander and Xander and Vesa, you'll probably show up here in a second. I do want to get a little quick scene with Cyril real quick. So, because Caliph is in there with you, he is currently having himself a bite to eat. He's got some he's got a sandwich probably, because he didn't really feel that's about all he can really make culinary wise, and nobody's there being like a cook. So, um, he kind of is, and he's kind of sitting there with you, and he goes, "So, interesting little bit of deception on some of our new friends, don't you think?"
To what are you referring?
Oh, just the reason that you still have me hired with my extensive knowledge of such organizations. Those aren't priests of Nyarlathotep, those Vesk. They're priests of Zon Kuthon.
He actually does like pause mid marshmallow drop to look up at and be like, how long were you planning on keeping this information secret?
Oh, I figured someone of your great talents had already picked up on it.
My mind was distracted the moment they mentioned something that could potentially threaten all timelines.
I'm sure there was a bit of a intent behind that. I wouldn't worry. I don't think that. I feel like they're potentially. I feel like they're honest about that part. I mean, if I'm any gauge of reaction and what have you, certainly I believe that, given Captain Volvetto's reputation and what we've known of him through other dimensions, that he may well have picked up on this himself and probably has a handle on it. And if he's not worried about it, I'm not certain why we should do anything more than keep an wary eye towards them. In any case, they know they're outnumbered. There's no way they'll make any kind of move until they've reached whatever it is their goal objective is. Assuming that it's anything different from what they've stated, which I'm not certain I can say I agree or disagree with at this point.
Yeah, he's probably actually looks a bit thoughtful and is like, for once we are in agreement. If I had my way, they would not survive after we discovered the dimensional sifter. The very fact that they know of its existence compromises the security.
They seem to know a bit more than we do, and I'm certain that they'll parcel that out as they see fit. They're not going to tell us more than they need to get us where they're going. It's unlikely, being that they're adherents of Zon Kuthon, it's unlikely that any form of death or torture will force any more information than they're willing to give.
Indeed. I believe that we should keep a very close eye on them. I want to know their every movement. I want to
And
be able to predict their every movement.
And this is about the time that Vesa, you walk in, because you get there first. And you walk in and you see that human who acts like a robot and his shadow fae companion sitting at a table talking. Give me a perception check to see if you hear that last sentence at all.
Okay.
I think you heard that last sentence.
Nice.
So you walk in just in time to hear Serold say something about being able to outmaneuver somebody. Um,
Hey guys,
yeah.
is there coffee here?
Yes.
And cool. What are you guys doing? What are you talking about?
We were
What's
discussing.
up?
We were
I love
discussing.
Vesa.
We were discussing matters pertaining to my ongoing investigation.
What kind of investigation do you have? What's going on? Can I help?
I'm trying to think of what his version of would be. If I collect spores, molds, and funguses. Uh,
Oh god, I just pictured Egon.
My investigation deals with portals, wormholes, and temporal events.
That sounds exciting. I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee. Can I sit with you?
I do not
Suck.
see any rule that would say otherwise.
Fantastic. Where the fuck's the coffee?
God.
Kayla just points towards the kitchen. And he's like, the coffee and coffee accessories would be in that general direction.
Cool. Do you have
Coffee accessories. I love
Caliph,
it.
You surprise me. I'm surprised by now that you do not only know where all of the coffee and coffee-based accessories, as you put it, might be found, but you have also found their artificial caramel syrup.
Oh,
Fuck.
There-
where's that?
Where's that?
oh,
I need that in my life.
yeah, he's like, oh, he's like, it's in the shelf. It's in the third left shelf, top side, and if you might have to root around towards the back a little bit, but I believe there's also some chocolate some chocolate syrup back there, and perhaps some. There's this green syrup. I think it's mint, but I haven't tried it, so I'm not entirely certain.
I believe
Cool,
in the
I'm gonna
context
go
of coffee, chocolate is referred to as mocha.
Right. I'm not really a mocha person, but I do appreciate your input. I'll be right back. And she's gonna bounce to the kitchen and look for an espresso machine
Yeah,
or something.
there's a setup back there, and I think this is about the time that like Xander, you are on your way. Like you're coming up to the door to the mess hall, one of the doors to the mess hall, and Kolnak is coming from the other direction. He's like, "Oh hey," he's like, "What's up, newbie?" And like, he's like, I'm Kolnak. Nice to meet ya. Like properly so anyway. I work in engineering, and his hands are greasy. He's like, I work in engineering. Sometimes I do a bit of computer work, a little programming here and there. This here's Blasty, and he points to like this
Blasty?
combat drone that's behind him, and just kind of like it's on like little tank treadmill treads and whatnot. It's got like a laser rifle attached to it. I think it's like some sort of heavy artillery laser at this point. But he's like, Blasty, say hi, and the drone waves its cannon.
Oh my god.
So,
He's like,
can I hear all that going on?
probably Kolnak is not quiet.
Just in the background, you hear, "Hello, Kolnak. Hello, Blasty."
He's like, oh, there's people in here. He's like, who's that in there? And like seeing that you're not taking his hand for a handshake, he actually goes makes like he's gonna walk in without further confronting you, but at the last second, like he pats you on the back like really hard, and he's like, "Come on then," and fucking
Smack.
and, there's like a big greasy
Yeah.
handprint on
It's
the
a
back
sign
of
of
your
affection.
shirt.
Yeah.
Invasion of personal space.
And-
Logged.
and-
Logged. Complaint
he's like-
filed. HR will be notified.
HR will be notified. So I never picked an HR person, so just saying.
Yeah, he did, but that person left the ship and never returned.
Oh no.
Ticks pit. Ticks pit. Ticks pit. Ticks pit. Ticks pit.
Yeah,
James, do you see this glare?
yeah, put the giant centipede person in charge of HR. That would be great.
Yes, we are very happy to see you.
He's good. See, talk
I wanna
about
kinda-
quarterly performance.
I want to put my head around the corner and I want to look at Xander and be like, Xander, do you drink coffee? Do you want some? Are you thirsty? Are you okay?
Do you want a beer?
I think you should have started with that last.
Can you drink coffee?
Yes, I like coffee and straight black, nothing else in it, just black.
That
Uh-huh.
is, I can do that. Are you sure? I make a mean macchiato.
Nobody in here knows what real coffee is. You hear
Shut,
that
shut,
all
shut.
the way.
Shut up. I'll fix it.
Uh,
Okay,
Uh.
black coffee. And go and make him some
Fair.
coffee and bring it back. With my
right,
fancy
right.
macchiato.
Want my coffee simple. The simple person. I like my coffee
That's-
simple.
Cold
I'm-
Next time you
egg
get the
here
chance,
for
have Rec make you a pot. The spoon will stick up when it's done.
Ugh. Oh, and I want to
Cold
sit down at the table with Cyril and his person.
and
And just
Caleb.
kind of like, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. You still-
Caliph.
they- Caleb.
Cyril.
Yep,
I want to
Cyril-
sit down with Cyril.
Cyril's still sorting his cereal.
Sorting your cereal? What are you doing?
It's basically Lucky Charms. That's why they're called Fortunate Trinkets.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And instead of the marshmallows being the cool shapes, I think the cereal part is the shapes, correct?
I don't think we ever
Oh no,
established.
but I
that.
really
That's
want some
right.
now.
I'm gonna
Oh.
take a marshmallow. Like I'm gonna take a marshmallow and pop it in my mouth.
Whenever I think of offering Lucky Charms, I always go to freaking Morty. I just watch people die over it.
Yeah.
Morty.
Oh, they're already in my intestines. Oh.
So I've
There's-
basically invaded Cyril's personal space. I'm like, so what are you working on?
He pauses and looks like way not cool to have someone in his bubble.
Hey,
And
I'm
see
sorry.
You see him just doing that like really awkward lean off to the side.
Yeah, I'll scoot away from you about 2.5 inches. Just enough to be like, yeah, I see you.
He goes back to normal. He's like, my apologies. I am not used to
You don't
close
say that.
quarters interactions.
That's okay. You're gonna have to get used to it because I'm on the ship now.
Noted.
I love the cold analytical response to that. That's
Super
wonderful.
bubbly, happy. Hey.
You don't know though. The way he is, he does have a little glint in his eyes. Where was that sarcasm? Was he being funny?
Oh,
But
you'll never know, or maybe you will. I don't know. We'll find out.
goes
so-
back to sorting the cereal.
Tell me about your portals, and your wormholes, and your temporal rifts, and your, I don't know, stuff. Tell me about your stuff.
It is very complicated. Do you have an understanding of mysticism and other magical phenomena?
Oh, well, I mean, I know a bit of magic-y bits because I was kind of born that way, but I wasn't really trained. but I mean, I'm a good listener.
I was purpose-bred to be the most efficient mage possible. I am what is referred to in common parlance as a witch warper. My magical abilities allow me to... And he, like, holds up one of his hands, and this very small portal hovers above his hand. Like, on the other side, you can see, like, insert reference to other Paradise Theater game here. You see Gorham smashing through a wall in some building to go off because he finished his talk with who did he talk to?
He talked to Eliadris and Igor.
Yeah, you just see this no, Igor was
go now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to go now. Smash through a wall.
Punches
I wanna-
different reality.
I want to pick up Cyril's spoon, poke it through the portal.
Well, now we know that in the background of that scene,
You just hear the
spoon.
Do you drop it in there, or do you
Go
just...
back and
I fucking dropped it in there because I wanted to see what would happen.
You drop it in there,
alright.
it's dropped in there, and then Cyril just gets this look and looks at you, looks at the portal, sticks his hand through the portal to try and find the spoon, pulls it out, and goes, that might have caused an interdimensional incident.
Interdimensional incident.
Just a spoon. I'll go get you another one if that makes you feel better.
I'm
sorry.
alright without the spoon. It is more that I am concerned that the spoon is in a dimension where it does not belong.
Oh,
I was gonna say they would not sure what they would do with that spoon, to be honest.
I
Just
know.
in the background.
Yeah.
Spoon.
I think this is probably where Colnat comes out, and he's got like sets his cup of coffee down on the table and sits down with you guys, and he goes, "Nah, it is one way to make coffee interesting." And you look at his coffee; it's black, but he pulls out like a flask, and he's like, "This right here, Sapphire Jack. This will give your coffee some kick." And he pours some in, and he like offers some to Xander, like, "Eh."
Sapphire Jack. That wouldn't happen to be like a similarly styled whiskey after Jim Beam, would it?
He's-
No.
Yeah, it is a whiskey. Well, it's a bourbon because for it to be a whiskey, there has to be a Tennessee, and there is no Tennessee. There has to be a Tennessee and a Kentucky, and there is none.
Could be from Ireland. Whiskey.
But it's dwarven
Shame.
whiskey, so it's probably just as good. And he pours Xander a little bit, and he's like, right. You see, if I understand temporal mechanics quite in any way, shape, or form, at least on a theoretical level, then if you
Maybe.
if you drop a spoon in another dimension, it could change the whole way everything plays out in that dimension. It could
Yes.
cause a tear, a rip in space-time that'll make
Yes,
your
keep
mother's
going.
gas. It'll make
Tell-
your mother's gas. When she
Tell
get
me more.
breaks
Give your
in,
DM ideas.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, and he kind of goes on this, and he kind of looks at it. Well, let's just say the stench will be the least of your problems. He pours a little bit more of his whiskey in his coffee and takes a big drink. He's like, oh, that's the stuff right there. And he offers he offers some to Caliph, and he's like, Caliph is like, no, thank you. I think my drink is better without. I don't think the caramel would just no, but perhaps some other time though.
Caliph, I forgot. We were going to discuss the nature of your employment. But I believe that I might delay that if you drink what the dwarf offers.
He actually looks at you and goes, but we just had a discussion about why exactly you have me employed. After all, you pay me to notice details, don't you? Such as the agendas of those around us.
Yes, but And this little thin fucking childish smile creeps on his face and he goes, I never made a final decision. We were interrupted. Please, do not
He's
offend
like-
our dwarven friend.
He says, "Not in the latte, though. That's just awful."
Drink it
He-
straight, then. It matters
he
not.
he takes a drink and he hands it back, and he goes, "Hmm." And he's like, "Not bad. Not exactly my thing, but not bad." And he goes, "Do you by chance happen to make any wine on this ship? I
Oh,
once
God.
knew this fellow that made the best wine. Of course, they had a
Anyways,
hydroponic
Vesa,
day.
is that your name, correct? Just immediately,
that's
Ray's voice cut him off.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, that's me as I slide my cup towards the dwarf so that he pours a little bit of stuff in it.
yeah. Oh, he obliges.
A
He's like,
little bit.
"Oh, right." He's like, "Oh, right. Sorry, didn't mean to leave you out."
I pull my cup back and kind of look around. Hey, can you open that portal again? Because I need a spoon.
Well, he already pulled the
Well, he
spoon
pulled the
back
spoon
out.
back, yeah.
No, he can't
Really?
find it. The portal was high
Oh.
up, and that spoon
Oh.
fell to the floor. We ain't
Yeah.
getting that back.
Yes.
She'll just kind of shake the cup a little bit, be like, "This is fine. I'm a little upset that I
This is
dropped the spoon."
fine. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
But he's like,
Whatever. Yeah.
witch warpers are able to manipulate the thin frail of reality, different timelines, different dimensions. Anything is possible as long as we can think of it.
Really? That's exciting. So, do you offer your services to other people who might need it?
I am a private investigator concerned with preserving the balance of these different dimensions, which is why I am quite concerned about this recent kerfuffle with the spoon. I am certain that
right.
will be something that I will have to deal with in time. Perhaps not now, perhaps not in a year, but eventually the spoon will cause a disturbance.
Don't write yourself into my campaign.
Well, I mean, at least you'll think of me when it happens, which is always nice. I'm sorry.
He just nods his head and is like, I should have been more forthcoming with this information.
I probably would have done it anyway.
Is there anything
Hey.
else you wish to know?
Well, I'm not as well versed as you, so I don't even know what to ask. Well, I guess, I don't know. Do you need help? Is there something? Can I help? Because you sound like you're doing something cool.
Yeah,
By being
ask
part of
him
the
about the sifter.
By being part of the crew of this ship, you are already helping me. And your help is appreciated.
Wonderful. Think of that whenever you have to go retrieve your spoon.
Noted.
Ashira, I think you. Actually, let me cut over to Twinkle and Twinkle real quick. Where are you at, and what are you doing?
Let's see. Well, the last time we tried to bug Nerks, it didn't go so well. And now he's not in the mood to bug anybody anymore. So he's probably gonna go get coffee.
And you go to the mess hall as well.
Yes.
All right. So we kind of catch Twinkle on the way down the hallway, and I think Twinkle, you probably run into Ashni as well. He doesn't actually bump into you at all. You though.
He knows better than that now.
Well, no, not so much that. It's just that he's already bumped into one person. He's paying a little bit more attention. He see it. Well, I should say. Ashni does not technically have a gender, but Ashni, it looks at you as it passes by. It's like, he's like, hey, he's like, good to see you. You're like on patrol. Like,
No reply.
It's
No
like-
reply.
like keeping things safe, man. Keeping things safe. Where's a man? I don't know. It's just
No reply.
He's perpetually confused by gender. and
The
just
Blue
does
Ember?
not.
What's gonna happen when an intruder gets on the ship? Is
Yeah.
he gonna just? Is it? I should be shooting you, but is it a man or woman, or is it? Do you prefer to be called dude or get shot? Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Maybe.
With all these weirdos we keep adding to the ship, the Blue Ember is slowly becoming a dungeon. We have a wandering ooze in the hall. All we need's a troll and a mimic. Trolls in the Blue Ember.
Hey, you have
In the engine bay.
yeah, I think you kind of probably passed by Oshni, who, and I'm sure Qualu probably said something to him about him after said to him about staying on point after his last stop or whatever. So you're heading to you're heading to the engine bay. Shaba, where are you at? Are you
Oh, I
on
said the canteen.
No, where's Shaba at? Real quick.
I thought I was headed towards the cafeteria.
Not Twinkle, Shaba.
Shaba.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, huh?
She's probably in her room at the moment.
Yeah, so you're on
Just
the
finished showering from decontaminating herself.
okay. So you're
That horrible stuff outside.
so you're actually on the fire strike at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think most of a lot of your NPCs, right? A lot of the NPCs are who have technical engineering skill are currently busy helping break down whatever UPBs you're getting from like this former base or what have you.
Sure.
So I'm trying to figure out where everybody's at before I jump over to the Commodore for a second. Because that way I know where people are at when if there is a call made of some sort. So Commodore. So where are you at?
I am on the fire strike, having a talk with Quaylen? No,
Quevelin?
Quevelin,
Okay, good.
who is
Because
in bungalow number 7,
yeah. So
the Quaylen suite.
Quevelin is actually wanted to speak to you anyway, and in so much as he speaks, and he's like, I
Yeah, he's gonna
believe,
have a heart to think of me.
yeah, he's like, I believe I'm going. He says, I believe our next move, if I remember correctly, I only have fragments of my memory and knowledge of what I of what I know of my people. We have contacts on this world. I believe we should head to the Citadel of the Black. There is one contact there I remember who had something, who, if I remember correctly, had something to do with the project, with the replicants. A Dr. Calidus Pulo? Or no, Calidus Pule.
You know, you should just type it in right now, because otherwise I will never spell it right.
Oh, hold on. This
You're
is,
fine.
well, the stream can't read what I type, so I have to actually say it too. Alright. Perhaps he has more information, but be forewarned, the home base of Karsay the King is only nominally more civilized than the rest of the planet.
Mm. It's alright. We'll see.
We've always found it strange that Karsay rules the Citadel of the Black. One would think just by name alone, the Dominion of the Black would want to take it. I suppose it's a testament to Karsay's influence and power that they haven't. At least not on this world. In this time.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I guess we can head there. I didn't actually think that we had any other ideas besides, make as much profit off of your little room as we can as we leave. Hmm. So, one question, which I know that you probably can't answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. How is it that the clone of McClure survives when the Ezzy clone and the Shira clone only barely managed to hold on 6 months?
I could not tell you that. It is an anomaly.
Mm.
I'm not certain it has ever happened before. I don't know what it means. Perhaps my people
Excellent.
do, but they have not told me, or have wiped
That
that
is
from my memory.
that is a better answer than I thought I was going to get. Very well.
However, this points us directly at this Dr. Calidus Puel. He was involved with the program. He may know more.
Hmm. What is he? A human?
That is his species.
Excellent. In that case, no. There's nothing else we need to do on this planet, right? Except kind of get the hell out of here as fast as we can.
Well,
No, wait, we're still looking for that. Who are we looking for? A diplomat?
well, okay. So
No,
you're
the diplomat is in the Vescarium. I keep forgetting that. I
right.
apologize.
The Citadel of the Black is on Octurne, which is where you're at. So
Yes, I know we're on Octurne. It's an evil
yeah,
place.
yep. So you came here because you were looking for the original samples or the original people, Dyden Losif and Rex Tolak. You found the body of Janice McClare, but
And 2 empty slots where they should have been.
yep, the not even the pods are there.
And then,
And
of course, Quaylen here said too much or not enough and made his bosses angry and is now one of us.
yeah, Quevelin,
One of us.
Quevelin.
well, to some
Eh,
extent.
right. He's fodder. But anyway. So yeah, I think that's all I need from you for now. We'll get to that mission in a little bit. And I wander off.
It,
Huh. Wait a minute. I'm on the Fire Shrike. I knock on Shaba's door.
okay. Mm. Yeah, Shaba, you hear a knock at your door.
And it opens right up quickly. It's like, oh, you're here.
Mm. How's it going?
Not bad. Just showered.
Mm. Yes, I smell scented oils in the air. Mm. Smells nice. So, how are you assimilating to not being in prison?
Quite enjoying it.
Good. Any side effects that we need to know about?
Just the
Sobriety.
now she's been hitting the stuff again.
Yeah, she's been hitting the stuff for a few weeks.
Okay.
Let's just say the one gets revenge on those guys. But hey, that can come later.
Right. And how do you feel about us dealing with the doctor again?
It's the doctor.
Mm.
He shows up at the weirdest times.
Right. He's like a rash under your toenail. You just can't get rid of.
Shovel
All right.
sounds like, I don't have toenails anymore, but hey.
Ow.
That's rough,
rough.
buddy.
Might have to
Yikes.
do with the mechanical legs, but
Mm.
Serious conversation
true, I
and all
forgot
you
you
can
have
offer is
mechanical
yikes.
legs. Mm.
That's rough.
But that was why I stopped by. The new Squishy in the Brig thinks that we need to go meet this guy whose name I've already forgotten because I went to a different character sheet. He's another doctor. His name is Kelides Pule.
Pule.
Pew.
Dr.
Do you know him?
Kelladis Pule.
Pew.
I mean, you do have that sort of a background, and he sounds like someone that might be important.
would I have heard of him?
Do you have ranks in culture?
Yeah.
Give me a culture check. Because, academia knows academia to some extent.
28.
You've heard of him. He's crazy. People say that he's brilliant, but they also say that he's insane,
He's batshit
unethical.
crazy.
Let's put it this way. You've heard of Kelladis Pule. He was a contemporary of Dr. Talit's, although a different university altogether and whatnot. He was actually executed, fired from the university that he was working at because he wrote a treatise on that dealt with very unethical, like surgical and bioenhancement techniques. Like, no one could ever prove that he actually practiced them, but he wrote a treatise on them. He wrote a paper that was widely distributed in sort of like underground circles until the board found out, and it kind of spread through academia that this guy's kind of a disgrace. And the rumor is that he is the kind of guy that is into live experimentation on sentient beings, though nothing was ever particularly proven. He's a madman, but they say he's brilliant. Much of his
And
theories
those
sound
brilliant ones. Oh, man.
Sounds like he makes Dr. Talit like a really nice guy you could have a cup of tea with.
Cup of tea.
Nice cup of chai.
Khaled has standards. He doesn't do any he doesn't do any unproven experiments on he has unethical practices, but his methodology is proven before he puts it into use on sentience. This guy doesn't have that same register. Doesn't have that same
So I just look at Zai and go, Pool, hey, he's batshit crazy. I don't know why you'd want to go see him. Unless you want to be one of his experiments.
So I should worry. Gotcha.
Yeah, he makes Dr. Talent look like a really nice guy.
Like a really nice guy.
I see. Well, then it should be fairly fun.
Oh, it will be fun. Lord knows what he's up to. I hate to know who he kidnapped this time for an experiment.
Well, maybe we'll kill him and set a whole bunch of things free. I smile, and I'm like, all right, prepare to take off in like 2 hours.
All right.
I guess I have to get dressed. Okay.
All right, and I'll get all the people that are wandering the bigger ship that are yours back to your ship.
By the way, your people that you've had salvaging managed to collect about 20,000 in UPBs.
Oh wow, that's fucking super hot.
However, they pretty much have to completely dismantle the alien tech because there are parts of it that won't work at all with the DNA without the DNA of the Greys or key figures who were probably involved in the project.
That's kind of a neat.
So wait, time out. Before we actually get that far, then, Quevelin, can you help us out with this, or should we just dismantle it for as much, UPBs as we can get?
I would recommend dismantling it. I am certain that any control functions I may have had have been deleted.
Do you want to try for me?
He goes, Captain, it would be pointless.
Okay. Go ahead. So 20,000.
Yeah.
We're putting into that. Dear God. So, there's too many people on this fucking ship. It ends up being like $6 a piece, I think. I'm going to write it right here for the moment, and I'll come back in a minute. 20,000. All right. Sweet. 20,000 UPBs. That's really nice since we make stuff.
Yep. That would allow you to make a few pieces of gear here and there. Yeah. So you're
that's actually a really good haul from dismantling a small lab.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll finish up and then get everybody back on board and we'll fly. Do we want to Does everyone want to go, or do you think we should just take one ship?
Isn't that the same question?
Well, no, because if everyone wants to go, that's both ships. Or should we just take one ship and the people that want to go? I mean, we can fit extra people for the moment on the Fire Shrike. But, yeah, you know what I mean. This guy's batshit crazy, Ashira.
Okay.
Like, he makes the Doctor look cool.
Well, and you guys could also, that you're going to the Citadel of the Black. Those of you who do know about that's where you're going, can make culture checks to see if you can find out anything about this place before you go. So that would mean if you choose to inform any of your crewmates that might also have culture, or if you just want to keep it amongst yourselves, those of you trained in culture can make some checks.
I was gonna say, as far as that goes, I got some culture. But not today.
9-2.
And I'm not gonna re-roll that today. I'm not gonna waste it. Not for a culture check.
Are you going to ask Xander if he knows anything about it?
Ooh. Xander, you should definitely do stuff too. And then I'm gonna roll my d6 because I have a d6 to roll with that. But at most, it still ends up being a 26. Up, it's 25 now. That's better.
Hey, Captain.
Yes.
26.
That was horrible. Pisses me off so.
Well,
all I had to do was roll like an 11, and I would have had a 31.
So, those of you who rolled 20 or above know that the Citadel of the Black is where Karsai the King, who is sort of often considered the de facto ruler of this planet, or at least he's the one who speaks for them when speaking to the Pact World's governments. Technically, Octurne is a protectorate and doesn't have its own status or voice on the council. But when Octurne does speak to the council, it's usually through Karsai the King and his people. He's both the high priest of Nyarlathotep on this planet, and he's the ruler of the Black Pyramid, the Citadel of the Black. The Citadel of the Black is fairly sparsely populated compared to to its size, but there is a great deal of like diversity there, and most people that are there for um, there for a reason. Either they're priests of Nyarlathotep or they're there on guest status because they're scientists that are working for, with, or have some agreement with the Church of Nyarlathotep. There are some, hell, there are even some Orokorans that live there. There's humans, there's Isekai, there's a
You know
few
what?
other people there. Um, the And those of you who rolled a 25 or above know just a slight piece more. You know that not only is it sparsely populated, but some citizens of the Citadel of Black could potentially go days without seeing another soul, and that suits them just fine. Most of them are kind of antisocial. And the closest thing to a police force is the High Stalkers, which are somewhere between a police force and serial killers. So running into the High Stalkers there could be you
Excuse
tend,
me?
yeah.
Sorry.
So
So
they're
yeah, after remembering all that and being retold all that by everyone else in their accounts, I'm like, oh, well, then let's all go because this is one of those times where us being who we are is probably going to save us a lot of hassle, at least on getting there. So
I
flip
think I
over
got
the
a cousin
signs.
there.
Go ahead and see if you do. Yeah, I know. Isekai.
What would you like
But
me to roll for
there
that?
are Isekai there.
Mhm.
nah, if you want to roll, sir, you may roll. But
Yeah.
I do not need to see that roll because number one, I believe you. Number two, we're being meta.
He's got the
Anyway,
hacks.
but if you have a cousin there, that's all the better. But I figure once we get within, radio range, they'll ask who the fuck we are and why the fuck we're there, and I'll be like, "Yeah, this is Captain Zai aboard the Blue Ember, and we're here to see the king. Do you have a problem with that?" And then I'll be like,
You really don't get much. You really don't get much but dead air. Like
"Oh,
there's
so
a
they don't care. That's
crackling.
fine."
Well, there's a crackling, and there's a little bit of a crackling, and there's a little bit of a crackling, like somebody might have tried to talk, or maybe they bumped their microphone or something, their comms unit or something. Um, you do get the impression that your message, that that people received that message and chose not to respond.
Oh.
But being that people received that, you can be well aware that there are going to be a few eyes on the sky, and a few eyes kind of watching.
Sleep with one eye open.
But
Bye.
the first thing I can tell you is the whole thing is like a mile tall, with a much wider, with a wide base, made of fleshy bricks and mortars, bricks and mortar. There
I
is
like
a
it.
very Blix. Words are hard, man. I'm having a real hard time with them today. But there is, it's a, you know, there just seems to be a perpetual gloom that hangs about it. And you can tell, that there is some kind of, that once you enter sort of like the area of the Citadel, like there is you can tell that there is some sort of device that filters the air. Like those of you who are on computers, whoever's working science stations, kind of pick up that they have some sort of like techno magical device that sort of filters the noxious air to be breathable.
Yeah.
So while you're in the confines, you do see, like, as you come to land, you do see what looks like some sort of gathering going on. Like like in one district, there seems to be a bunch of people paying attention to one or two figures for a few minutes, uh, and then it lasts for while you're still landing, it kind of disperses and whatnot. You're assuming anyway. It looks like it's dispersing before you kind of get to the point where you're landing in the buildings that are around it, sort of like block the view, and you're a little farther away, and what have you. But you do manage to come to a landing pad that is unoccupied and set down. Yep.
Sensors? Can I get a computer check Ashira and
Yes.
Shaba? Because we have different sensors on ships.
Or whoever you've got running sensors on your ship, Shaba.
That's also true.
15. 38.
38. Well, there are just under 160,000 people here, give or take. The sensors aren't at least that's living creatures anyway. You can kind of make up. Well, here, there is the percentage on this. You can make up that it's probably about 45% humans, 14% Orokoran, 11% Isekai, 6% Android, and 24% of it is just a sliver of various other identifiable races in no particular pattern. But there is the there are a lot of people that come here to study because there are great libraries here. Those of you who roll the 26 or above would know. Yeah, they have a lot of knowledge, forbidden knowledge here.
I believe that.
So,
So, do we know where the king's castle is?
it's you know where it looks like the king would take up residence. But most of you would know that Karsay himself is rarely seen. There are varying rumors of what he even looks like. Some even suggest that he's an avatar of Nyarlathotep and not just a high priest.
Well, if that were the case, that's definitely someone I'd want to talk to either way. Oh, dear God. Interesting. Now what?
I have I get a bonus of a minus 5 DC to any culture checks about nobility, rich and powerful, prominent personalities.
Yes.
I can help.
Do that.
Okay.
So, what you do know about it, what basically there's not really like the most prevalent description you've heard of Karsay is humanoid with like blonde or orange hair, and his symbol in his chest formed of what appears to be mostly shadows and blackness, with very little of his body is actually fully seen. That's the most common description you get of Karsay the King. That doesn't necessarily mean that is the true description. That's just what most people seem to think he looks like, based on somebody's cousin's sisters, husband's, co-worker.
So you're telling me it's going to be easier to just go to the doctor?
I mean, the doctor, you have heard of having human contact with people.
Okay.
So,
Well, fine.
I mean,
Then let's
you can take that.
sidetrack and forget the king and just go straight for the doctor.
Okay, so you're gonna try to
Right.
find the doctor.
Right. I throw Twinkle the keys to Nahir's vehicle, and I'm like, "You fuck it up, you're in trouble."
Oh boy!
The buggy.
Yay!
Yeah, the buggy.
So
He's thinking about, I just put all that time into buffing and waxing and. Fine. Hops in the driver's seat, turns her over.
Right. So let's see. Who's driving with Twinkle and who's driving with Zai? Just so we know, Zai's driving the cop car.
I want
Oh,
to go
and there are
cop
those of
car.
you that have motorcycles. Okay.
I want to go cop car.
Yes,
Oh
you
my
can play with
God.
the siren.
I want to ride with Twinkle because I have
I want an
a
ice cream sandwich.
Twinkle.
Oh my goodness.
wow.
I give him an ice cream sandwich.
I want ice cream sandwich.
It's freeze dried, but it's still an ice cream sandwich.
Freeze-dried ice cream. Oh Jesus! Freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches are good.
Why does he Never mind. Just. Okay.
All right.
Gets
So
in, turns
after
her
the
over.
ice cream sandwich, we get in the cop car and we go.
Yeah.
Is Twinkle driving?
Twinkle is driving
Yeah,
and
Purple,
following.
are you going on your motorcycle along with Nurx? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys who are going to try to track down this doctor.
Yeah.
So
culture checks.
So I'm gonna need culture and or diplomacy checks to see if you can't track this guy down.
From all of us?
Culture,
From those of you who are skilled in culture, you can
Diplomacy.
use culture. If you're skilled in diplomacy, you can use diplomacy.
I got a 73.
73. What?
He didn't get a 73.
Well, if
Like
you
a
add them
rug.
Wow,
together,
told
that's bad. I'm
have
gonna re-roll that with my compound sight
Yeah.
or whatever it is. I have a re-roll as a witch warper.
Oh, I have a reroll too.
Much better.
Okay. I have a reroll too. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be worse. It's worse. Frickin' mothers and fathers. Stupid. Oh, but I think I get a 1d6. I think.
Plus
Yeah, you
2. 1d6 plus 2, because you are an envoy. That is true.
Yeah. So it's /R.
/R space 1d6 plus 2.
So 5. So still fucking worse than the first roll. Sons of bitches.
So,
it happens.
so you see. Let's look at everybody's. Cheryl. So I think between all of you, you kind of like maybe we get like this sort of like montage of you guys sort of driving around and asking questions and whatnot, and people pointing or shooing you away or what have you. And it takes you about a day and a half to between all of you to sort of track some of this down. But you get you finally get a bit of a bit of information. You find out sort of like both where where people think say his lab or like his lab or his home is, and you also get a handle on the library that he frequents most when he's looking for information. But nobody's willing to directly tell you his business and what he's about. They're just kind of like, sometimes he hangs out here. You know, I thought I saw, there's a place over here that he might be at. But yeah, you've got a couple of leads.
Sorry,
Okay,
the
if I
small
wanted to
smidgen of evil in me. Go ahead.
I wanted to check contacts. I said I had a cousin here. What would you want me to roll for that?
That's gonna be a culture check.
Oh my god.
You actually do know somebody here, but they are not a. But they are not a. Uh,
Cousin?
it's not a cousin.
Hmm.
It's somebody else you know.
Oh
Like
god.
you're, uh, you're as you're asking around, like you run into a as you're asking around, you run into an old contact. You run into a halfling you used to know.
Oh fuck. It's not
It's a halfling that you used to know.
it's not
Totally
warp,
has
is
that
it?
It's nope, it's error. Because error
Ah,
was the halfling,
fuck. That's
right?
almost as
It,
bad. I don't remember who's who anymore, but
you run into error as you're asking around, and error is kind of he's like maybe he notices like maybe you're asking questions and there's somebody that's just shooing you away um actually maybe it's that thing where like you're you see like high stalkers coming and you're there's somebody that actually lives here that's about isekai or halfling size that is walking by and is that happens to be in the area. The high stalkers seem to be looking around and you take a quick moment to hide to hide, but the person walking by looks over and obviously sees you but does not indicate your presence to the high stalker or the high stalkers when they stop him. And high stalkers, they have an Oracoran with them, um, but they are a group of humans with like lots and lots of fucking scarification and tattoos and what have you, that are kind of looking at that look like they're looking for trouble. They look like thugs. They've got
mm,
clubs, knives, and desperate look about them. But they also happen to be wearing, sort of matching armor and clothing. And you're kind of trying to, and there's that tense moment where you're like, wait a minute, that guy saw me when he walked past. When they stop him, and they go to harass him for a minute, and there's a tense moment and a quick movement by the smaller figure, and they kind of look at they look at the smaller figure for a while, for a minute, and then they kind of wander off. Uh, they um, they go charging down the street in a different direction, and the figure goes to walk off. It starts to go to walk off, and then stops for a minute, looks around, makes sure that the high stalkers are gone, and looks back in your direction. And there's a moment where they appear to be staring at you from beneath their hood, and they pull the hood off and look over and squinting, and you recognize Error immediately. And he's like, no way, no fucking way. And and he's and he kind of like in sort of like almost like a stage whisper. He's like, Twinkle.
Aaron, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah. Point A to point B kind of got stuck here for working on a way off of. I've got a ride coming. Uh, I had to hide away here after the last job that well, me and Bells and Data pulled. We didn't think you got out alive. We
Didn't get out alive. I went back to the fucking base. You know what I had staring me down? The muzzle of a fucking laser rifle.
yeah. Well, we we figured that somebody Data always said that it looked like somebody tampered with his security tools. And he went back as we were leaving. He was kind of looking at his security tools once we managed to get away from the security guards. Said somebody had tampered with him. There was a there was a algorithm, a program running that made it look like the security had been shut off. And as soon as he figured that out, he said it was obvious somebody from within had to have betrayed us. And he
So you
always
pin it on the new guy? Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't pin it on anybody. Hell, I don't know who did it. It could have been you, could have been Data, could have been, well, it couldn't have been Bells. He wouldn't have known the fat ass end of a computer from, hell, we never knew anything about Secret, really. Warp, Warp got caught. Last I heard, he was doing time on Dagox 4 over that job.
Shit. Wait, okay, so Warp still in prison. You said Data's still around?
And last I saw Data and Bells was not long after, once they decided that his security tools have been hacked, they didn't trust me either. They just kind of left me. I mean, I met back up with them. Like they escaped on their own. I only got to talk to, I only got to talk to them through comms. They kept they kept their distance the whole time.
Well, fuck. So, I guess, damn it.
Okay.
You didn't see me.
I didn't see you. He goes, yeah, likewise. He's like, but if I might ask you a question, what are you doing here?
I'm. Look, you know I had to get out of there. And so. They didn't leave me alone. I got chased from here to fucking Akaton and back. And then I decided to hop a freighter. Didn't realize it was going to take me to the ass end of nowhere. So I made a deal. And I'm working with some people now.
And who was it, by the way, that was riding with Twinkle? Because you would be there also.
I'm totally riding with Twinkle.
Yeah.
I'm watching this
He
entire
hasn't-
interaction go
he
down.
hasn't said like a single word to you this entire time, just dialed in. But at that point he's like, oh fuck. Look, you didn't see me here. You didn't know that I'm working for some friends of ours. And you didn't know that you could contact me at my 5th alternate that I used before we left.
Yeah. He goes, likewise. He's like, well, it's been something
Oh,
seeing you.
I forgot one thing. If you hear
Yeah.
word that, well, the crew of the fire Shrike's around, you please do everyone a favor and just dispel that rumor, okay? I owe you one.
He's like, he goes, yeah, no promises, but as far the less I know, the better.
Agreed. For the both of us.
He's and he kind of nods and he's like, hey, you're welcome, by the way. I told them the guy they were looking for went the other way. You might want to stay a little, he says, he's like, just a friendly word. Steer clear of the high stalkers unless you're carrying some serious ordnance. And like this is the point where you realize that he has had a pair of pistols on his hip the whole time. And you realize that that small movement that he had to have made, now that you think back, he had to have drawn both pistols and aimed it and aimed it at him. and you notice that he did have a bandolier of his famous like green smoke grenades on.
Yeah. Hey, no matter what anybody says, I trusted you, and I still do. So keep yourself safe out there, and maybe I'll see you around the corner. Who knows?
Yeah, he nods and he takes off about his business.
After he leaves, and thanks. Turns to Vesa. So you didn't see anything, right?
Oh no, I fucking saw everything, and you're gonna tell me about it so that I can keep my mouth shut later. What's up?
What the fuck?
Fucking newbies.
No, man, you're gonna tell me everything. Who's that guy? Also,
Everything.
Okay, you want me to start? Hi, my name's Twinkle. What's
Hi,
yours?
I'm
Don't-
Vesa. It's really nice to meet you.
Really? And it's not backstabbing blackmailer?
I mean, it might be. We'll see. Tell me more.
Whoa!
Oh,
Ouch.
boy. You know, I used to prank entitled brats like you back on my time in Absalom Station.
Please, I've had worse. Let's go.
Fine. Another
Right.
time, though. Too many years.
Okay, I'm excited.
Nice.
Jesus.
So how are you guys going to go about this? Are you going to try to like I think Zai, I think you're probably the one that figured out where like where his rumored base of operations is. And I think that both Serold and Vesa are the one kind of were the first ones to sort of like find out where like the library tends to go to study the most.
Well,
Is Octurne...
do we need to kidnap him? Because, I mean, if we know his base of operations, then we're gonna do, surveillance, and then go from there.
Does Octurne
If we need to
have
kidnap him or something, I suppose we can watch both of them. Exactly how long do we want to be here, guys, before we actually make a move?
I was gonna say, are there a lot of undead on this planet? This seems like a place where the undead would, have a monster mash.
Well, there are undead here, but it's not like Eox or anything. I mean,
Eox is the monster mash Halloween town.
yeah, Eox is where like all the undead would be.
I hope they have a-
There's probably undead on this planet, but it's not like this is a civilization of undead.
I hope
It's
that they
not like-
have a combat zone on Eox called the Bone Zone.
Oh god.
And it's just skeletons. It's just skeletons. They fight the skeleton wars so that they can
Don't
become
quit your day job.
so that they can become skeleton warriors.
Oh my goodness.
God.
James, I love you so much.
I don't know. Somebody said library. I want to go to the library.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you need to go to the library. Actually, that sounds like
I'm
a
trying
good
to
idea.
think of a race that's other than an android or an RSO that's very
SRO.
SRO. ORS. That's
I was letting
very.
the dogs in.
That's,
I loved it.
that's very robotic and like emotionless. So maybe it is a Bowrai that's just one of those life is pain, man. Bowrai. And it is the most dull back and forth. It's like listening to two bureaucrats talking about paper shuffling. But they managed to come to an understanding.
Yeah.
And he just comes back to the group and is like, I have succeeded, Commodore.
Commodore.
Succeeded at what?
It is the first doorway on the left.
You have succeeded. Excellent. Thump, 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 thump.
Insert.
Yeah.
I expect head pats later.
So
Jesus.
Fine,
Yeah.
I will give you head pats and rub your nose.
So the question I have here is that, like, how are you guys going to try to approach this? Are you how are you
Well, how
I'm
did
gonna go
surveillance go?
wander. I'm gonna go wander the library like
Yeah, that's
get
true.
there,
You have fun in the wandering.
and I could pay attention while I'm in there, do some research about this, and then pay attention
See what
to if I see
PDFs are
him.
available for download free. Upgrade
Do
our
you-
library.
do you have are you gonna assign like a security detail to Xander, or are you just gonna let him wander
Ooh,
the road into Psycho Town?
yeah. No. That's true. You, gladiator.
Basic, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Why don't you make sure that he doesn't die? In fact, make sure he doesn't bleed.
He looks at he looks at her and goes, as long as I can make others bleed in the process.
Should they try, please make them bleed. Xander is not supposed to be harmed.
Isaki probably also steps in and is like, and it's probably
If
like,
you must, woman.
yeah, she's like, our augurs and contacts suggests that we need this one alive anyway.
Ooh,
Don't
that's
you hurt
true.
my life partner.
Let's send. Damn it! I wrote his name Ashni too.
And send Ashni with him. So Ashni,
Well,
the
yeah.
Ashni,
Otherwise,
Isaki, and Xander.
otherwise, I just sent Xander with the two people that want to kidnap him. But yeah, so that'll work. And then, yeah, like I said, if we get some decent surveillance back, it really just depends. Because I'm kind of down for storming, a doctor's office of evil. If we kill a fern here, it's going to look way better on our record.
Oh no, not again.
Although here's the problem.
I feel like no one cares about the fern but us. Like we're the only ones.
I feel like honestly, I feel like if you kill a
Kill
fern here, there wouldn't be surveillance footage that makes it out into the wider universe, because I'm pretty sure anybody who would be interested in blackmailing you would also know that most of the rest of the packed world would be like, so they killed a fern in an evil mad doctor's office, and there's a problem because we're gonna arrest them. Why? It's on
Got a
October.
laundry list of other things you can arrest us for.
Yeah.
Why
It's-
that?
Right? We're not worried about them killing somebody on Octurne. Octurne is generally full of bad people anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So Xander, you're gonna check out the library and try to find out what you can find there. All right.
I want to multitask, do two ordinates at the same time.
To what?
Two operations. Pay attention to see if the doctor dude shows up, as well as
Ooh.
trying to look up book information about that sift and see if they have anything in the library.
So let's.
Make notes.
So we'll need to get
Yeah,
some
also look for secret doors and hidden passages.
perception checks. And Isaki's with you.
Oh, Vesa, you went to the library?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just heard perception checks. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
For those who went to the library anyway.
Yikes.
And Commodore, if you would like to make the perception check for Ashni,
Do I have Ashni?
you should.
Hang on,
I
checking.
really need to put points in perception, but it's not a class skill, so that's big out.
Up there he is. He's at the top now. My bad. Oshni, oh great Oshni. Roll a natural 20 and make them angry. P.
Haha, PP.
Well,
Alright.
it was a 20. How you like that?
Alright.
Wow,
So,
man, there's stuff.
Isaki. I think Isaki and Oshni are probably the most perceptive here.
Of course they are.
Alright.
Hey man, I have this super cool ability that lets me reroll a skill roll once a day. Oh wait, that's not me.
Let's see.
Oh. He does have some cool shit.
So you're not necessarily you don't seem to you don't see him around. So I would say that probably probably give me a culture check to see if you can't research if your research here. So you're trying to research what, the sifter?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you find some more you find another tome with a reference to the sifter. You can kind of like but there's still that weird alien language stuff that's on it that you can't quite translate. So you're gonna take a picture with your computer tablet thingy. Okay.
Yep.
Scan it. Scan the page and make a copy. Okay. Awesome. So you know, another piece there. All right. Ashira, you and Nurks managed to you and Nurks I imagine you guys like communicated at some point that you found something, right?
Oh yeah.
Your leads and whatnot that
Yeah.
that they communicated to you that they know where he's at or know where he bases out of and what library he hangs out. Are you going to um, hang out on the ship and wait for a report from Xander, or are you guys going to go out try to um, scout out like his area? Are you going to try to? Are you going to wait for the captain's orders to do anything, or are you just going to run off and do something?
No, I don't see why we couldn't go out and scout. Like, I don't think the captain would have any problem with it.
Okay.
No, so long as you go in groups of 3.
Can I
Right.
go with you?
Me, Nurks, and then Vesa, I guess.
Okay.
Yay.
So you
Next, you're gonna have to make her a motorcycle.
Yep.
Oh,
It's gonna take
drive it too?
it'll take a few hours for her to make it. Do you have skills in piloting skill?
Yes, a few.
A few?
Okay. Awesome.
Like
Question
2.
Yeah. She wasn't too sure about that.
Sweet. Okay.
Kind of.
So,
I could probably keep it upright. No guarantees on how I can drive it.
well, it's not necessarily important at this point, but I do need to. You guys managed to make it to the area where like this base of operations is, so I'm gonna need some stealth checks from you guys to see if you can kind of stay out of view here.
Okay.
I guess I need to make one for Narcs as well.
Oh, fuck, you died. That was a 20. Suck it, asshole. Gave me an 8.
Yeah, I don't know why I got brought here. I'm not good at this.
I'm not good at this.
And I don't have a re-roll for that, I don't think. Unless I can yell at the GM enough to say it counts because it's in my. I'm using it for my investigation, so I can use my investigation reroll. But I wouldn't because that would be cheap.
Honestly, cheap or not, it is connective.
But
I
I
would
also
allow.
am a scumbag who will use any opportunity I get. And that's a little bit better.
Okay.
Now I'm just poking
Um,
my head out from behind a table instead of just standing out in the open like a blithering idiot.
All right. So,
Peekaboo.
kind of.
Wait,
that
what?
you.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
What?
Do we know that this guy's coming?
Well, you know that this is the place where this guy is said to be base of operations of. This is sort of like Xander and company went to the library.
Yeah, I just turned invisible.
There you go.
I forgot I had that spell. I took this fucking spell for this reason.
And then I forgot I had it.
Awesome.
Half the party just turns invisible.
Oh, what the fuck?
But we gotta get in and out in 10 minutes. Just saying.
Go, go, go.
Shit, where's that guy that we were with? He warps witches.
The air next to you just goes, I'm still here.
That's not creepy at all.
I have used
Oh my God.
I have used a spell known as Greater Invisibility.
Super duper. You got any extras?
No.
Oh.
Actually,
Oh,
do I?
Stop acting all innocent.
Is it a 4th level spell? Or is it a 5th level?
You have it listed as a 4th level.
There you go. Yeah, she's invisible too now. I don't think I'm going to need control atmosphere at any point. Yeah, you just feel a hand touch your shoulder. No, you're
Nope.
invisible.
Out.
I'm gonna tap base Ashira on the shoulder.
You can't find her. She's invisible.
Oh shit, we're all invisible. Fuck yeah.
The 3 of us are.
God.
I don't know if Shaba's gonna if Shaba and Ashira are gonna share in the fun, or they just like their rolls enough that they're gonna roll with it.
Well,
Will someone hold my hand so I don't get lost?
How did I join your group?
yeah, I was gonna say
Never mind.
Nurx is with you guys, and she's got a 27 on her. She
I
rolled
don't
a 7
know.
and got
We
so she's fine.
Nurx, Shaba, I just imagine Devil Child. So
So you get a bit of you get a you're kind of like watching this place, and you see that he does have security precautions. It looks like he's got some hired help to guard his property. They're trying really hard to be they're actually, let's get some perception checks because I want to see how much detail you can get here.
Oh,
Oh,
that's bad.
22.
Let's see, I'm going for Nurx. And I don't.
not awful.
So, goddamn. Fucking Nurx and Ashira. Fucking Nurx and Ashira, just like fucking perfect pairing here. The both of them above 20. So you kind of get like maybe Nurx points out some of the security cameras and kind of and like sends you messages through the comms of like locations of security cameras and stuff. But you also are kind of but none of you can see where Nurx is actually at. She's managed to like blend in so well.
That's
you
concerning.
You, Ashira, also happen to notice, and you're pretty sure Nurx has noticed this too, if she noticed the security cameras. But you notice that he does have hired security, some of which are obvious. They're, they have guns and they look like toughs. They look like they're there to provide. But there are a few that you pick up on that look like they're meant that are people who seem to be trying to look like a less of a threat than they actually are. Um, you know, People who are apparently trying to look like they are just vagrants. Um, but you're kind of like you catch them looking around a little bit more than a vagrant normally would.
Okay.
What have you? Yeah.
Oh,
Just pointed
But
that out, team.
what?
there are several of them there. But you see you see the you see what you're assuming must be somebody important, like coming back from somewhere, and they've got like a bag full of unidentifiables. You're not entirely certain what they've got, but the security lets this person pass automatically. They're generally, like most people you see around here, they're heavily cloaked and hooded as they pass through. Um, and you don't have a real solid physical description of what he looks like anyway. But there is somebody that the security has let through. They're there. How long do you wait around to, how long do you guys wait around and watch the situation if you're surveilling?
It's up to you. I'm just here for the ride.
I feel like I feel like we should at least be here for an hour minimum. Does that make sense?
All right.
Because like we stopped by for 5 minutes, we have no information because we didn't sit there and fucking wait. Like, you know what I mean? Shit could happen as soon as we leave.
All right. You So an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours?
I would say 2.
2? Okay. So there is like lights go on in the building that go on in the building, and kind of you see movement, and and uh, you hear like heavy machinery uh, for a little bit. You hear a couple of like what sound like potentially screams, although it's kind of hard to tell through the walls or whatever, and from the distance you're at. It could just be the sound of like high pitched sound, like it could be some sort of engine with a high pitched running
Like a
motor.
word, yeah.
Yeah, it could be a whir, but it could also be like some sort of muffled scream. Kind of hard to tell the difference. And there is a point where you see a back like you see like a side door open, and a couple of people who are dressed like full on in like sort of like these lab outfits, but they've got like full masks on, like with goggles and like rebreathers and the whole 9 yards. And they come out carrying something, some sort of unidentifiable something. There's like 4 of them that come out, and they walk a short distance over to a pit and throw whatever it is into the pit. And 2 of them turn around to go back in. Um, you know, a couple of them stop and look at it. A couple of them stay there for a minute, look in the pit. One of them raises his mask long enough to, like, smoking a cigarette and whatnot while they talk for a minute. But eventually they go back inside too. And then
Can I cast psychokinetic hand and grab the door before it closes?
Ooh,
Clever.
look at you.
I know, crazy.
And if
Let's see,
it's
psychokinetic hand. Let me see if that is a thing it can do.
if it's too heavy, I think we can see if multiple psychokinetic hands.
I can hold up to 10 pounds or 1 bulk.
Repel the object as far as 15
Okay.
feet in any direction.
Does it
must be-
have to be? Does it have to be an unattended object, or can it be in somebody's hand?
It is an unattended object.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after
So I was
they
thinking
let go
as
of
the door
it.
was closing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like most people, in a secure facility, they're not going to let go of it until it's actually closed.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Thanks.
The little hand gets smushed in the doorway.
Yeah, it just.
My fingers.
But yeah,
I tried.
the last two go back inside. You see the lights go on and hear machinery for a little bit longer, and then the heavily cloaked and hooded figure comes back out, speaks to comes back out with a group of a group of masked individuals, and speaks with them for a minute and sends them off, and they sort of like move off in a group, and he or they go back inside the building and shut the door. But there's they don't send out their security, but they send out you're not sure if these are the same people that were in the lab uniforms or not. They wear similar like headgear and goggles, but the rest of their outfit seems to be a little bit more for you know for trouble kind of situation.
Is there something we could roll to see what kind of goggles those are? If they have like some sort of true sight that they could see through invisibility, other than walking out in front of them and seeing if they see me.
I would think that you could potentially, if you're worried about them having a magical effect, you could try detect magic on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
It-
have detect magic.
I mean, it's not gonna if they're tech based or hybrid based, it's gonna have a limited. Yeah, you've got detect magic, so you cast detect magic, and there is, and it takes a moment for you to shift into the spectrum, but you don't detect any magic coming off of them. It doesn't mean there aren't necessarily technical upgrades, but there doesn't seem to be any magical ones on.
Yeah, no magic, no hybrid.
Yeah, so
I'm not detecting anything magical upon them. But they could be using heat. Would heat vision, like, would being able to see in the infrared spectrum cancel out greater invisibility, or does that cover you from all spectrums of sight? I don't think they mentioned that in the spell text.
In any case, I don't think they're looking in your direction at the moment.
Better
So
safe than sorry.
Also,
I wanna
not to.
pull out.
Go ahead.
I wanna pull out my incapacitator because I need to hit somebody, and I think that we should take their clothes.
That's funny. On that same note, it is 10:39, guys.
It is. So I think this is probably the point where we get ready to do some sign-offs, and everybody sends me their player's choice votes.
I could do that.
So you could you could send me a player's choice vote and do sign-offs and stuff. So Xander, let's get a let's start with you.
Okay. Scott, Sight, whatever, call me something. I don't know. So I've played Xander, and I'm doing my research and multitasking, trying to find people. Hey, I'm doing 2 jobs at once. I can do that. Listen, Wednesday I play in Hinch Dimension, play Night. I'm the dude that does whatever he wants. Ooh, look, shiny. That's mine now. That's what he does. I don't remember what else we're doing. We're working with some weird people becoming evil, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he
What-
doesn't know.
Let's see. If we do Flesh and Fire Apocalypse World, I play the unconscious mechanic because I decided to go from driving to jump over to a different car. So Jake is unconscious at the moment. When we do Legion class wrestling, I'm going to be playing Adam Mason, who's the manager of Bear the Boulder Breaker. And I want to get him some title shots for some belts. That's my manager role. That's what I'm going to do. And then there was the Faulty Comics Present that I started to join. I played John Smith, who's an alien on Earth with powers and whatnot. Yeah. We'll see where he goes with that. Then on Ballad of the Menagerie, I play Chefs, who either was very successful or did horribly bad on trying to get across a flippin' river. And then I
Yeah,
got
you
lost.
guys. Yeah, you guys. You guys go. You guys did struggle with the river.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my Lanta.
Oh my god. Um. All right, so let's go with Cyrus. How about you go next?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cyrus Smith, and you just saw me playing Twinkle Bailey, the isekai who just got fucking blackmailed by the
Nah,
newbie.
not yet.
Blackmailed by the newbie, which
Maybe a
makes him
little.
feel like he's a kid again because he sees, the guy he had ran, one of the guys he had run with when he was a kid and made a stupid fucking mistake. And now he's in a situation where he once again made a stupid fucking mistake and is now in another situation. This will not stand. You know what? He's got skills. It's time to use them. You can also find me on Wednesday where I play Acer, the telepathic sniper, who is, well, a little concerned. Things went really well last time. Like, disturbingly well last time. And that never lasts, especially in one of our games. So just waiting for the punch. Just waiting to get fucking wrecked is great. Not really, but we'll do it. And it's gonna hurt, but we'll see. You can
It's
also
gonna
find me. What's that?
It's gonna hurt.
It is gonna hurt, but let's see. I will only plug this once until we actually start playing. But if you tune in on a Saturday where we are playing, Faulty Comics Present, you can meet Vladislav Dobrovodsky, also known as the One True Slav, where his powers of creation of vodka from any drink or material. You hand him brick, vodka. You hand him gold. I'm not sure why you would want to turn that into vodka, but vodka. And other superpowers make him the best Slav to ever Slav. You can also find me on Sunday, where I am running Tales from the Cosmos, where last time we had a family intervention. And most of the gods were there. I think most of the neutral gods were there, having their own separate little intervention, and most of them were like, "Hey, you're doing something dumb. We're not going to stop you, but if you promise us your undying souls, we can go ahead and give you a small amount of protection." Well, maybe a little bit more, but either way, it was fun because the DM got to get promises from his players. Fun times. You could also find, well, that brings us back to Monday. And here we are.
Awesome. Brian, you want to go next?
Right. Maybe he doesn't.
Then we'll go with Amy Gedden. Why don't you go next?
Hi. Yeah. Hi guys. I'm Amy Gedden and I play with these awesome people on Monday nights and I play Vesa. And I'm currently blackmailing Twinkle Bailey. Just kidding, maybe. We don't know yet. But information is power and Vesa likes information. Not as much as Xander likes information, but she just likes to have it in her back pocket because you never know when you're going to need it later. I'm also invisible and I want to hit somebody with my incapacitator, goddammit. Eventually I'll get to hit somebody with this fucking incapacitator and I'm very excited. I don't play any other games right now, but in the future things are looking pretty positive, so you guys should stay tuned for that. And that's me.
Right on. Brian, are you there?
Maybe.
Maybe you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'm Brian. I played Shaba Young today, and yeah, that's about it for now. I don't know. I just
Best
Bleh.
outro ever.
I have the worst outro going. So if someone can top that, that'd be great. Anyway, go
It
on
was
to the
the
next one.
best. I loved everything about it.
Let's go with Commodore next.
Hello, I'm the Commodore, often called Captain Zion this campaign. I play here on Monday nights with all these crazy people. It's a lot of fun. It's been going on for so long, and I still enjoy coming here on Monday nights. Sometimes I play Rita Throat Rot, a boy that likes to dress like a girl and wear women's underwear, and ride a great big motorcycle across the apocalypse. We will get back to it because we are right outside the gates of Detroit, and I am unconscious. It's so horrible. But past that, my friend Purple Codex sells t-shirts at tpublic.com. They are awesome and fantastic t-shirts. James, if you would.
Oxford defines epic as formally a literature term, a long poem, typically one derived from ancient oral tradition narrating the deeds and adventures of a heroic or legendary figure, or the history of a nation. Informally means particularly impressive or remarkable. In the field of business, refers to a lack of ethics and being part of teesprings.com. Purple Codex is the definition of epic.
It's not even Teespring.
I love that.
He knows.
He's just
That's why
saying.
it's funny.
Oh my god.
This started when you were, so it's not going away.
I was never with Teespring, smartass.
Well,
someone
in
told
our
me it
alternate
was,
universe,
so that's
you
It
were.
was TeePublic.
Oh wow!
I just
getting the
I
advertisement wrong.
it never. I don't. Oh god! Every time it's just so different, and it's. I can't. I have no words.
Well, that typically leads to Purple Codex.
Yeah,
so.
come on, Codex. I know you're laughing, but you got to do your outro now.
Okay. I have recently taken a couple weeks off of streaming to mentally deal with my mental breakdown since my TMI here, separation from my husband. So I've been really just focusing on my mental health. Tonight is the first night in a few weeks that I've streamed. And also I got sick and I had to take a COVID test and I was sick as a dog, but it came back negative. Thank God it was just flu.
Good.
Yeah, but I felt like shit for like a whole
Did you
week
enjoy your
straight.
3 days off from work?
I was off work for like a week.
Oh, nice.
COVID
And not nice.
bullshit too.
So, yeah.
It's horrible.
And I had to wait like 3 days for my fucking test to come back. It was stupid. So,
Yeah.
it was negative. And so, yeah. So today was my first official day back to work. So that was fun. And so I'm going to try to start streaming again as often as possible since I've kind of calmed a little of my crazy down. Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know how my living situation's going to change. Obviously that'll put a kink in plans, but that's a few months off when I have to worry about that right now. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Let me rephrase that. Normally, I am here every Monday night with this group. It's been a rocky month, okay? But
And if she's not, she has space diarrhea.
listen, I'm gonna try to be here, and I've missed some days, but it was kind of unavoidable. I passed out last Monday and didn't wake up till 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, "Well, I'm fucking late."
Only a little.
Only a little. I totally
Hey,
missed the stream.
Better late than never, right?
Oh yeah, I was like, "Well, shit."
We're glad you're here tonight.
Yes.
We are indeed.
Twinkle needs you to save him from Shaba and crazy ass Vesa.
Hey, Vasa's not crazy. She just really likes information.
She's crazy.
She might be a little crazy.
Don't worry, she'll find you.
'Cause I'll find you.
And Nightheart, that leaves to you.
Hi ho, friendolas. My name is James, otherwise known as Nightheart. You've caught me here today playing Serald Silverchild, the guy who might as well be called Ass because he's pretty much L from Death Note. No, you're an ass. On Wednesdays, you can find me playing Martyr, the. I don't know, Gunnar. Would we qualify as supervillains at this point? I mean, I've murdered like 30 people.
Jesus.
I mean, those are just the bad guys. How many innocents have you actually murdered?
Innocent.
Let's
Have I
define
murdered any innocents yet? I don't. Well, there was that guy.
That Crash.
There was that guy at the start who, gave the Don's daughter the no touch, but at the same time, I think that qualifies for me to beat his head into the brick wall like I did.
Say what?
Yeah, we're playing bad guys, but we are bad guys, but that doesn't mean we are bad guys.
Oh
Well,
my God.
At least as long as when it comes to our little group, we're actually decent people. Everyone else, though, watch out.
Yeah, I mean, we just hang out at Denny's or IHOP, depending on which one we feel at the time, and talk it over like we're at the fucking diner in Seinfeld. It's just all of us are also murderers and supervillains who are working for an evil corporation that is actually being owned by the Legion of Doom of this universe.
Don't forget
the funny part is, all the conversations are in our heads. So everybody else outside is just seeing a group of people sitting around staring at each other.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. And we make Crash pay for the food.
After he gets the Denny dumps. Yeah, that's Wednesday. Come to see if I eventually do kill as many civilians as I have killed guards who are just doing their job. Because my collateral damage is murder every unnamed person in my zone.
I can get behind that.
And on Saturday, depending on Saturday, I could be in one of many different Justice Grab bags, although I've been kind of sparse on those lately because of my work with the census.
Well, the grab bags have been kind of sparse due to attendance and technical issues lately, so...
That's also part of my fault, I'm sorry. But I'm doing big boy work, so...
I love you. I love Sam.
I miss Sam. And on Sunday, you can find me playing a whole bunch of different characters who had to make a whole bunch of different things, and one of them is fucking Pulvari Broken Nose, the dwarven wizard woman who will kick your ass and then shove her hand so far up it that you'll be tasting nail polish for the next month. And by the way, she's figuring out the lore, the deep lore, the scheme. She's gonna get out the cork board and the pictures and the red string. It's gonna be a reckoning. And that's me.
Whatever you say.
All right. Well, that brings it back to me. And everybody will get the mechanical stuff out of the way first. The housekeeping. Everybody gets another 1,000 experience points, and today's Player's Choice Award goes to Vesa by a
Hey,
large
thanks,
margin.
guys.
Yay!
So you get another 700 XP. So
Cool.
there is that. And with that said, well, I am the Just a King Zarad, and you can catch me here on Monday nights for Fire Shrike, my favorite group of space terrorists, space pirates, never do wells, and create for the crazy conspiracy insanity that's going on. You can also catch me here as we get back to Justice Grab Bag, which I think this week we should be able to get back to Grab Bag, barring any technical difficulties, hopefully. I want to get back to Legion Championship Wrestling this week because we haven't done it in a very, very long time. And I think that's kind of where we kind of want to go, or at least where I want to go at the moment. You can also catch me here on Sundays, Sunday nights for the Ballad of the Menagerie. And let's see, there are rumors we've got other things coming down the pipelines. And oh yeah, if you are watching this on Twitch and you want to go back and rewatch it and go, what the hell was it that person said that I couldn't quite make out? What was that? What was the name of that doctor again? What was the name of that place that they went to? You can catch us on YouTube at Paradise Theater, space between each word. But if you're watching us on YouTube and you're like, God, I got to see this stuff live when it's raw and fresh and the energy is just raw and fresh, because we love raw and fresh, apparently. You can catch us here on Twitch at Paradise Theater. However, this on Twitch, there's an underscore between each word. And if you just want to, check out some scheduling information, maybe a few tweets, and get some I don't know, some things other people have on this channel call something like, flammable memes or something like that.
Hot memes.
It,
Hot memes.
There you go.
you can catch us. You can catch us on Twitter at Pear Theater. With that said, I believe that's all we've got for tonight. So let's get an RIP Fern and get out of here.
R.I.P. Fern.